There's so many of my friends that go through this, but migraines sideline more than 5 billion Aussies every year. It obviously interrupts their work, your school, your daily life. For many, it can feel impossible to dodge, but actually if you catch it early, it might be the key to managing the pain.
For more, we are joined by neuroscientist Dr. Rahul Jondial live from LA. Rahul, always good to see you. I mean, lots of us suffer from bad headaches, right? But it's that starry-eyed kind of migraine onset that's a different beast altogether. What actually does make the two different?
Well, there are two main types of headaches we need to know about. And one are tension headaches, and that's like a headband that's tightening. That has to do with neck spasms, has to do with tension. Migraines have a totally different biology. They're usually one-sided. They can have a little bit of a warning signs that arrive. They last several days, vomiting, they're crushing, they're piercing. It's a different class of headaches. And I know in the States here, a lot of people will say, well, you only have a headache. That doesn't mean you should get out of work. That doesn't mean you should get out your responsibilities. But migraines are truly debilitating, and the ones who suffer with them can tell you that.
Well, you just started then, but what are the 4 stages of a migraine?
Well, this is sort of new information. I trained 25 years ago. We really think about migraines as stages, but we may have a slide here. But before migraines arrive, this is really good, that there's a premonition or premonitory state and an aura. So this means the headache has not arrived, you're not disabled by it, but there are certain changes that happen, certain warning signs. Lights might flicker, smells may change, that's an aura, and you can have some sort of an intuition your body doesn't feel right. Why that's important is that's the time for the migraine treatment, not necessarily when the headache arrives. And then the other thing to think about is what they call postdrome, which is basically the hangover. So even when the headache is gone, there's another day or two that people are still sort of groggy and suffering. So it can turn into nearly a week-long flare-up.
Is there anything we can do if we do sense any of those symptoms coming on to try and prevent it? I mean, I know in the past if I've had, like, whether it's a difficult headache or a migraine, going to sleep, drinking a lot more water, are they tactics that might help?
So all of the things that we do for common headaches that we have occasionally, hydration, sleep, taking ibuprofen, but the migraines are a different beast. There are medicines that you can ask your physician to give you in Australia and here, and one of them is sort of a blood vessel medicine that loosens the blood vessels on the surface of your brain. It's thought that those blood vessels shrinking are creating the throbbing, but it's the basic care of all headaches plus unique medicines that are out there for migraines. And then it's a couple of days in your room with the curtain shut. And then again, I think people around you and your employers need to be sensitive to the fact that migraines aren't just the usual headache.
Once it's passed, though, is there a way of getting up on your feet quicker, or you just have to wait till it passes in that postdrome?
I mean, that's a good question. And I will tell you, this is also new, is they feel like concussions. I've heard that.
Wow.
In the past, we thought when kids get concussions, and we talked about all of those topics before, that rest as long as you can. But when the headache passes, or when a concussion passes and you're cleared, activity, surprisingly, brain activity and physical activity, getting back to it, will shorten the duration of the concussion or headache. I think it's an excellent question. Don't stay in bed indefinitely. You sort of have to get yourself back on your feet as the last step to making the headache go away completely.
All right, interesting stuff, Rahul. Thank you. Thanks for joining us as always.